how to criticize. Don't teach me how to behave wickedly. Don't teach me how to get addicted. Don't teach me how to fulfill my pleasures. Don't teach me to fulfill my desires. Don't teach me that I'm the most important thing in the house of God. Teach me how to stay at his feet. For by humility is honor, riches, wisdom. By humility. Oh my God. I wish you would just lean on somebody and tell them just to be in his presence. Just to be in his presence. Just to be in his presence. Your soul is lifted up when you're in his presence. Your incontinence is lifted when you're in his presence. Something happens to your mind when you're in his presence. He rejuvenates you. There's a spiritual excellence that takes place in his presence. As a matter of fact, there's a therapeutic excellence that takes in your heart when you're in his presence. He gives you a renewness. He said, I renew your spirit. And though you be cast down, I will lift your spirit. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, for the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? He is high and mighty, and he's lifted up. Isaiah said, when I saw him, he said, something began to change in me. Soon as King Uzziah died, he said, I saw the Lord. He was high and lifted up. His train filled the temple. He said, I saw angels crying, holy, holy, holy. I want to tell you something. There is a place in God that you can go where the enemy cannot come. There's a place that you can go in God that the enemy cannot pursue you. There's a place that you can go in God that the enemy cannot travel to. The enemy can't go there. I wish you would touch 3 or 4 people and tell them the enemy can't come here. The enemy can't go there. The enemy can't follow me here. That's why he said, when thou prayest. I wish you would touch 2 or 3 people and tell them when you pray. Oh, come on, tell somebody when you pray, when you pray, when you pray. He said, when you pray, he said, enter into thy closet, which is secret, and shut the door. I tell you to tell somebody it's time to shut the door. Stop bringing the crowd with you. Stop trying to get the multitude with you, and go behind closed doors and shut the door and pray to your Father in secret, and he will reward you. He will reward you. Touch somebody and say, open, 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 openly. David understood this. David understood this because he understood that there was something about, I'm getting to my text now, there was something about the tabernacle. There was something about the tabernacle that he understood that many of the lay members didn't understand. And the heathen didn't understand it at all. Because they had never had such a presence of God. They had never had such a visitation from God. They never had a manifestation of God's presence in their lives. See, there was 3 parts to the tabernacle. There was the outer court, the inner court, and then the holies of holies. And in the outer court, they had the brazen altar. You would bring in the beast and you would kill that beast and put it up on the altar for sin. Then you would walk over to the laver and you would wash your hands from all of the blood-stained garment that came from the blood of the beast. You see, and then you walk up and all of a sudden you move from the outer court into the inner court. And in the inner court, you walk in and there was a table of showbread. There was also the light that gave light into that place. It was a enclosed place where man and God worked together. Where God and man, they had a relationship together. There's natural light and there is natural bread. And then there is the altar of incense. But the natural light helped you to see when you were in that enclosed place. Oh, I wish I can talk to you today. That bread helped you to sustain yourself when you were in that enclosed place. But the light also represented Jesus being the light of the world. It also represented, the bread also represented Jesus being the bread of life. And then the altar of incense represents the prayers that are going up before the saints of God. Because as a high priest, we can come into places that other folk cannot go. Look at somebody and tell them you're a high priest, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a called out, chosen people. that you should show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into this marvelous light. Look at somebody and tell them you're not like everybody else. Oh, I wish you would talk to somebody and tell them you're not like everybody else. Oh, come on. Witness to somebody and tell them stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to do what other church folk do. They don't have the intimacy you have with God. They don't have the consciousness that you have with God. Their consciousness is seared as with a hot iron so they can do what they want to do and pervert the grace of God. But you're not like everybody else. God is calling you to a higher standard. God is calling you to a closer intimacy with him. God is calling you closer. And so the psalmist understood this when he said, he that dwelleth, oh my God, he that dwelleth in the what? Secret place. Because there was a place that the heathen did not know of, that the regular lay believer did not know of, that the regular elders in Israel did not know of. But the psalmist knew about it because he helped construct that secret place. And the secret place was the holies of holies. That secret place was the holies of holies where you can go and he, look at somebody and say, he that dwelleth. Now this he is not dealing with masculinity. This he has nothing to do with masculinity. It has to do with position. Look at somebody and tell them I'm a son of God. And it has nothing to do with masculinity. It has to do with position. That means I'm positioned to serve God. He that dwelleth. Look at somebody and say, he that stays there. Stay right there. Where you going? Where are you going? You ought to tell your friends, don't call me today. Your friends ought to know something about you, that they cannot call you at a certain time or a certain hour, because that's your time for secrecy with God. That's your time where you cut folk off. You cut situations off. You cut the bills off. You cut the emotions off. You cut the problems off, and you enter into that place where you and God are alone in the secret place where everybody can't dwell. Everybody cannot go there. Everybody can't deal with this. Everybody can't. Can I tell you like I want it? Can I preach the way I want to? Look at somebody telling everybody can't pay this price, baby. Come on, tell them everybody can't pay this price. This is a price of self-denial. This is a price of high position. This is a price where you got to let go of some stuff and let go of some people. You got to cut some folk off in this place. Can I go deeper? You can't behave the way you want to behave dwelling in the secret place. How are you going to be fleshly in the presence of God? See, because in the secret place, they call the Ark of the Covenant. It's in the secret place. And in the secret place, there was no light in the secret place. The only thing that was in the secret place was the presence of God. And the angels they were over top of the mercy seat, showing the mercy of God. And when the priest walked into that secret place, it was him and God alone. As a matter of fact, they had a rope at the bottom of his foot that if he sinned against God while he was in the secret place, somebody would pull him out, because anybody couldn't enter into that secret place. But thanks be to God, we got a high priest. We got a high priest. We got a high priest who's been in the secret place, and he invites all who would come into the secret place with him, because your soul desires to be close to him. Your soul desires to be with him, and stop letting life drain you.